Are you ready, Delta?
Ready.
Then shoot! You missed that one.
No.
7 out of 8. 3 times in a row. 7 out of 8. I thought you were supposed to be good.
Look, Sigma, I'm not accustomed to rapid shooting. But really, I'm just not used to target shooting at all. For the last 3 years, I've been hunting the Ku Klux Klan. That mattered to me. And I never missed. Not even once.
Is there a problem with the new crossbow I made you?
No, it's bloody perfect. I don't even understand how the mechanism can reload a bolt so fast.
Is there a problem with the sights? Are they off?
No, they're perfect.
Then it's obvious. The problem is in your mind.
I think I just need more practice.
Practice will just eventually help you believe you can do it. You don't actually need to wait. You need to believe.
I'm sure that makes sense to you. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. Can we set up another round?
9. You're wasting ammunition. Besides, I need to check on Iris.
Iris? Who's Iris?
Iris. It is what I call the clockwork pilot. Yesterday I adjusted her directional calibration and I want to make sure she's staying on track.
Sigma, there you are. You'll need to change course. We just received an ethergram. We must be in Paris by tomorrow evening.
Absolutely, Omicron. I'm on my way.
Is there a problem, Omicron?
Isn't there always? It's time to climb aboard the airship Peregrine and join her crew of 5 extraordinary individuals. The ninja, the giant, the marksman, the genius, and the alchemist. Share the adventure as they circle the globe in their battle to defeat the chaos and tyranny that threatened to rewrite history. It's time to join the Omega contingent. So Delta, have you ever been to Paris?
No, I have not. This is beautiful.
Indeed. Most of this is houseman's work. Napoleon III gave him carte blanche to redesign the city. Entire neighborhoods were demolished. Some say it was to make it beautiful. Others say it was to eliminate the maze of tiny streets where rebels could hide and strike at government forces.
Probably some of both, I dare say.
Oh, very good, Delta. Nothing is ever simple.
No, it isn't. So, how long have you known this Texier?
Oh, Charles? Well, we've been acquaintances for over 20 years now. He did some remarkable archaeological work in Asia Minor. Discovered the cities of the Hittites.
The Hittites?
Yes. An amazingly advanced ancient culture. Frequently at war with the Egyptians. A lot of stories there to discover. But here we are, number 42.
Omicron, my old friend. Come in.
Charles, mon ami. So good to see you again. I'd like to introduce you to my associate, Delta.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
American. Welcome to Paris. And welcome to my home.
Well, thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to be here.
I hope you gentlemen will excuse me if I dispense with the normal pleasantries. But we have much to discuss. Come in. Sit down.
So I understood from your message. Charles, what has happened that has you so concerned?
3 days ago, I was contacted by the lead engineer for a railroad tunnel construction at Sinis.
Sommeil?
Why, yes, exactement. Jermaine Sommeil. You know him?
Oh, I know of him, but we've not met. Brilliant engineer, though. The way he tunneled through that mountain was nothing less than extraordinary.
Oui. And sort of conceived that he would find something miles underground. Glass of wine?
No, thank you.
Delta.
Oh, no thank you, sir.
Well, pardon me if I do. I just finished dinner.
So, why in heaven's name did Sommeil contact you?
Because of the symbols on the side of the containers.
Containers? Vessels? Good Lord.
Oui. It is the ancient cuneiform. I have not responded to Sommeil yet. He told me they have not touched the containers, but he sent me a rubbing. They are marked with the gear symbol.
The gear symbol?
Yes, it's an ancient form of measurement. It means 300 bowls, roughly 40 gallons.
Sommeil says the symbol is repeated twice on each container.
You mean all 7 containers?
Oui, Omicron. All 7.
Well, now I know why you contacted me. Do you know... Charles!
Omicron, look at him. He's foaming at the mouth.
It's the wine. Cyanide.
Oh my God, he's
dead. There's nothing we can do. We have to get out of here. Stay low. Let's use the back door.
We made our way out of Texier's house, and when we got back on the street, we headed straight out of town to where the Peregrine was waiting. Omicron, what is this tunnel?
You don't know? One of the most amazing engineering feats in modern history. Germain Sommeil has perfected a drilling mechanism that has allowed for a railroad tunnel to be drilled through the one mountain that was separating the railroads of France and Italy.
Oh, that tunnel, yes. I did read about that some years back. He actually started the project before he knew how to finish it. He invented the water-powered drill while he worked. That's one confident man, I must say.
Yes, 8.5 miles of pure rock. They started working from both sides, and when the two tunnels met in the middle last December, they were off by only 20 inches. Since then, they've been clearing back to make up for that 20 inches. It's my guess that this is when they discovered something that wasn't quite right. And unfortunately, they investigated it.
Unfortunate for your friend Charles, that's for sure.
Yes. Poor Charles. What a brilliant man.
When is this tunnel supposed to open?
Just a little over 2 months from now in September.
Is that what you're worried about? The trains going through?
It was. Until someone decided to assassinate Charles Texier. Someone else is after those containers.
Well, what's in those containers?
I'd rather we discuss it with the whole group. We're almost back to the clearing now.
Omicron and I got back to the airship, and he called the whole team together for a meeting.
Omicron, what is so urgent?
We're on our way to St. Jean. It's to the west. There we're going to find a man who has made a most unfortunate discovery.
Unfortunate, Omicron? What has he discovered?
Yes, new unfortunate. Charles Texier, the man we just visited, was murdered this evening, right in front of us.
I knew I should have come along.
No, Gamma, it wouldn't have mattered. He was poisoned. Before he died, though, he was able to tell us what was discovered in the new railroad tunnel at Cenis.
And what was that, Omicron?
According to Hittite mythology, in a fit of anger, the god Telipinu wiped out all life in the countryside. A mist rose forth and stopped all vegetation. Fire wouldn't burn. All animals died or were sterilized. Without plant life, the ground dried up and turned to desert.
But this is a myth.
It was until a few days ago. You see, the goddess Camersipa was finally able to pacify Telipinu, and with the help of a wizard, found a way to drain off his anger. This anger filled 7 vessels made of bronze with lead lids and iron clasps. The sorcerer, possibly Nastiga, then went to the ends of the earth and buried the vessels deep underground. Well, apparently when you're traveling from Constantinople, the ends of the earth are in the French Alps.
How could they have buried this 4 miles underground?
How can 2 pints of poison wipe out an entire land? And what will 7 Gyr vessels of it do?
Omicron, Gyr vessels?
Yes, a Gyr vessel holds 300 bowls. According to some versions of the myth, just 1 bowl decimated the entire land of the Hittites.
How can we destroy it?
I have been working on something that might help.
What have you got, Sigma?
It is an explosive of sorts, but instead of producing a blast, it produces extreme heat.
How extreme?
By my calculations, it should be over 4,000 degrees.
Whoa! Oh my goodness.
That would do it. How long will it take?
I have already started making some. They are portable, like small cannonballs, only with a detonator. I'm working on that now.
Good work, Sigma. Let's get underway. We're off to the house of Germain Sommeil.
But Omicron, why do we not go straight to the tunnel?
2 reasons. 1, Sommeil can tell us what to expect when we get there. And 2, his house is on the way.
Perfect sense, as usual.
We made it to the home of Sommeil in just a few hours. But as we approached the house, we knew something wasn't right.
There's too many people here.
Should I stay back more?
Good idea, Gamma. You'll attract too much attention. Delta, come with me.
Right with you, Omicron.
Excusez-moi, qu'est-ce qui se passe ici? Où est Monsieur Sommeil?
Sommeil? Il est mort. Tué depuis des heures. Cambriolage.
Merci. Merci, quel dommage. Delta, let's go. Gamma, let's get back to the Peregrine.
Omicron, my Creole is just good enough. He said Sommelier's dead. I didn't catch the rest.
Yes, murdered 2 hours ago during a burglary. They got what they wanted. I'm glad you have good eyes, Delta.
Why's that?
Because we're going into this blind. Sigma, we have to get to Mount Sinise. Fast. Somaye is dead and his killers have a 2-hour head start on us.
By road, it will take them at least 3 or 4 hours. I will have us there in less than 2.
Make it much less, or we're going to be in a fight to take back the vessels rather than a race to hide them.
I understand. Consider it done.
No?
Yes, Omicron?
I think they've stolen documents that we need to find the 7 vessels of Telipinu, somewhere in that 8 miles of railroad tunnel.
And you wish me to retrieve them? Correct?
Yes, and any other documents that go with it. We have to erase any record of this discovery.
I understand. Put me near the base and I will make sure nothing remains.
Excellent. Now, Gamma.
Yes, Omicron.
My instincts say we're going to need you in that tunnel.
To carry the vessels?
Possibly. If there's a problem with destroying them, then we may need to move them.
How much do they weigh?
I estimate about 400 pounds apiece. The containers themselves are probably a third of the weight, unless the double gear symbol means they are twice that size. If that's the case, then they'll be about 800 pounds each.
That should be no problem, Omicron. As long as I can get my arms around it.
800 pounds. No problem.
How much do you weigh, Delta?
Okay, you did pick me up with one hand. You win.
Win? I haven't even been challenged.
Boys, please, this is not the time for jokes.
Omicron, I have set Iris to get us there. We should arrive in less than 90 minutes.
Excellent work, Sigma. How are the thermal explosives coming along?
Oh, very well. The formula includes just 2 metals. So simple, but when combined in the right way, they detonate with a special magnesium fuse. It is brilliantly catastrophic. The exothermic reaction is like nothing I have ever seen.
You think we'll need one of those grenades for every container of the Telipinu poison?
If they have lead lids, as Omicron says, then that would be perfect.
So I assume you've made 7?
Omicron, please. I have made 3 dozen.
If ever there was a good time for overkill, this is probably it. Capital effort.
My concern is the detonators, Omicron. The magnesium needs to be ignited to start the reaction, but I don't have any kind of timers I can use.
And we don't have time to go shopping.
But I have a solution.
Doesn't surprise me.
Well, since we can't be close enough to ignite them, then I think I can create a detonator that can be fired from a distance.
You mean like a crossbow bolt?
Exactly. I have made 8 bolts with piezoelectric crystals for arrowheads. When they strike this small area on each grenade, as you called them, the impact will create an electrical spark that will detonate the magnesium.
Which in turn will ignite your thermal compound. Sigma, that's brilliant!
It is. It is why you have asked me to come along.
I know. But Delta, can you do it?
He regularly hits 7 out of 8 shots. I hope the pressure of needing to hit 7 does not scare him into only hitting 6.
I'll try not to take that personally. How big are these targets?
Less than an inch in diameter.
Then I guess it's about the range, and the balance of those bolts with the new crystal tips.
We need to be at least 20 yards away. And also, you cannot look at them after you have hit. The burst is so bright, it will blind you. Permanently.
Then you'll need to bring your goggles to keep track of them for me.
Already packed.
Omicron, I'll hit your 7 out of 8. You can count on me.
It's not me, Delta. It's the whole team.
We are here. I have set Iris to keep the ship aloft for 2 hours, then return for us.
And if we're not back?
Then she has other instructions.
How does a clock... Oh, never mind.
Nu has gone on ahead. I'm hoping she can at least find something to tell us where to look in the tunnel.
I've prepared the rope line, Omicron. I'll go down first.
Excellent. We'll see you at the bottom. Delta, you have your new crossbow and the new piezoelectric bolts.
And about a few dozen regular bolts, just in case we run into trouble.
My goal is just to get in and get out. Let's go find Nu and see what she's discovered for us.
We all took the rope line elevator down from the ship, including Sigma and her fireball grenades. And then we set off on a run toward the construction camp. There was a lot of activity, but no sign of any workers. The men I saw weren't dressed like tunnel diggers anyway.
It's Sunday. The regular workers aren't here. I certainly didn't expect a dozen men, though.
Nu is coming. I can hear her.
I don't hear any... Oh, of course.
There she is. Nu, what did you get?
They had 1 briefcase of documents with them.
Had, I hope is the operative word.
Oh, they still have the briefcase, but we have the documents.
Perfect. And?
Yes, a map. The side tunnel is almost at the exact center of the mountain. It appears to be a long, narrow crevice that opens into a very large chamber.
How narrow?
I cannot tell from the map. It is not drawn to scale.
I wouldn't worry about that now. We need to get in that tunnel and down those tracks before them. Delta, am I right that there are 2 railroad handcars at the entrance?
Yes, 2. Right in front of the transport locomotive.
Perfect. We'll take a handcar. Gamma, you're the engine.
This sounds like fun.
We made our way along the mountainside and managed to sneak onto the first handcar without being seen. Gamma got behind it and started pushing until he got up to a run, and then he jumped on. Before we even slowed down, he started pumping the handcar like a whole team of men.
Slow down a bit, Gamma. We'll jump the tracks.
Sorry, it's my nature. I'm always rushing.
Puns at this time, Gamma?
Russian, I get it, that's funny.
Delta, do not encourage him. You have no idea.
She's right. This is not the time for puns. We should be over halfway there.
Omicron, I hear something.
What?
Well, I have good news and I have bad news.
What's the good news?
The good news is that they did not take the other handcar to chase us.
And what's the bad news?
The bad news is they stole the freight train.
Oh my, how fast can you pump?
I have a better idea.
Now would be a good time to hear it.
Look, coming up, there's a pile of railroad ties and yes, track rails. Big ones. Do you know what to do, Gamma?
Oh, I have several ideas. Don't stop for me. I'll jump.
Omicron and I will take over the hand pump.
Exactly. Go, Gamma.
Here I go.
Omicron, do you think he'll be okay?
What did I tell you about underestimating people in this crew? I'm less worried about Gamma than I am about the tunnel. Keep pumping. We're almost there.
We pumped the handcar as fast as we could, and in just a minute or so, we heard the most unearthly crash come back down from the tunnel.
I believe that's the sound of a freight train meeting a greater opposing force.
My God.
Now, we don't have to worry about anybody coming from the French side of the tunnel anyway. Gamma should be catching up with us soon, but I believe that incline in the track we just noticed means we're here.
We slowed the handcar as we noticed on the right side of the tunnel an opening in the rock face. In the dark, most would have completely missed it. When we stepped into the opening, though, we could see it was as wide enough for all 4 of us to walk abreast.
Sigma, torches. Yes, Gamma should be able to carry the vessels out through this cave without any trouble. Then we can load them onto the handcart and take them out to the Italian side of the tunnel. I've arranged for a special envoy from Ocean to meet us there.
Well, it seems you planned for everything.
Oh my God. I didn't plan for this.
Ich glaub, mein Schweinfeld.
What? Those aren't 100-gallon tanks, Omicron.
The double gear symbol. They're multiplied, not added.
When we entered the chamber, what we expected to find were tanks the size of horse troughs. Instead, we found giant, ancient tanks the size of train cars.
It's not 300 bowls. It's 90,000 bowls. 300 times 300. That means each one of those containers is over 12,000 gallons of poison. This could wipe out the whole world repeatedly.
No wonder they buried so far underground.
We'll never get these out of here.
Can't we just have Gamma smash down the entrance and close them in?
No. The rubble will leave evidence of an opening, and eventually, someone else will come along and dig them out. It's a temporary solution at best.
Then what can we do?
I have a plan.
Oh, my favorite words.
Omicron, these walls are made of mostly dolomite and granite. My thermal grenades will melt this rock.
Sigma, that's brilliant. But we only have 8 detonator arrows.
Let me think. Yes. If I arrange them in a fixed geometric pattern along the walls, then we can start a chain reaction. But
what?
But for the pattern to work, we will need to detonate more than one in the pattern. Otherwise, they will only burn in sequence, and they won't raise the overall temperature enough to melt the entire entrance cavern.
How many do we need to detonate?
It will not work. We need 8. Delta will need to detonate all 8. I am afraid he will miss one.
The survival of the world rests on this?
Yes, it does, Delta.
Well, then that matters enough to me. I won't miss.
Good. Sigma, where do we place the grenades?
Sigma showed us how to put the grenades in and along the walls in a geometric pattern, like a spider web. She said they were far enough away from the tanks that they wouldn't melt the bronze or lead, but she also warned us it could get mighty hot in there, mighty fast.
This is your detonator target, Delta. You must remember to shoot and then immediately look away. You must not look at the explosion. I will tell you if you hit or not.
You brought your goggles?
I told you I did. Omicron, you and Nu get back out of the passage. We will be right behind you.
We'll be waiting for you. Good luck.
We need skill, not luck. Delta, are you ready?
As ever.
Start from the left in the back, then work your way forward or to the right. You can't miss one.
Enough with the pressure. I get it. Trust me.
We do not have a choice. Are you ready, Delta?
Ready.
Then shoot! 1, 2, 3, you are doing it! 4, 5, 6, it is working, Delta! 7, one more! 8, you did it! Now, let us get out of here before we are cooked alive!
I couldn't even turn to look at my own handiwork, but I can tell you that the heat coming out of that cave was beyond anything I'd experienced in my life. We ran as fast as we could back to the train tunnel, and I'm pretty sure we got out of there without a moment to spare.
Sigma! Delta! You made it!
It worked, Omicron. The walls of the entrance tunnel were all melting.
Good job, Sigma.
And good shooting, Delta. All late, I presume.
Yes, sir. It really wasn't that hard. I knew I had to do it. Instinct just took over from there. Any sign of Gamma?
Can you see anything up the tunnel?
No, not in the dark, but I can hear him. Gamma!
Delta, good to see you. I heard the explosions, but there were a lot more than 7. Is everything alright?
It is now.
Where are the vessels?
They were a bit bigger than we estimated. Not our problem anymore. Sigma took care of it. What took you so long?
I know the tunnel is supposed to be opening soon, so I did what I could to fix all the damage. And the train. I put it back on the tracks. The men were all unconscious, so I don't think they'll be chasing us anytime soon.
Well, that was very thoughtful of you, Gamma.
I try.
Now, if you wouldn't mind, we have a British emissary to meet us on the Italian side of the tunnel. Let's get the handcart going.
My pleasure, Omicron.
We all got back on the cart, and Gamma had us at the Italian entrance in no time at all.
Ah, Omicron! So good to see you again.
Lord Quimby, good of you to come.
Yes, your message said we have some rather large fossils we need to be transporting for you. We have a train waiting just down the way a bit.
Well, as it turns out, Sigma here was able to take care of them already.
This little girl?
I am not a little girl.
Be careful with that, Quimby. She has quite a hot temper.
Apologies. So do we need the train?
Not this time, but thank you for being so perfectly prompt.
Can we give you a ride somewhere?
No, I believe we're all set.
Omicron, we're, on the other side?
We're all set, thank you, Lord Quimby.
Ah, good day, Omicron. I look forward to being more useful in our next meeting.
But Omicron, the Peregrine is on the other side of the mountain.
Did you really think Sigma would leave us stranded? Look up. See that bird circling?
Omicron was right. From the ground with its wings unfurled, the airship Peregrine looked like a soaring bird of prey.
Sigma, where will the Peregrine be meeting us?
There is a clearing about a quarter mile south of here. She should be there in about 15 minutes, I think.
Well, you just took care of everything, didn't you?
No, we did, Delta. All of us.
I get it now!
What?
Omicron! You made a pun! She has a hot temper, I get it!
That's right, Gamma. As I said, there's a time and a place.
The Omega Contingent, Episode 2, The Curse of Telipinu, is a production of Adventure Theater and featured the voice talents of Elizabeth Beale, Christopher Dijak, Nathan Hemnes, Miles Marker, Verity McGowan, Anthony Sakovich, and Keith Surplus. Omega Contingent was created and written by Anthony Sakovich and directed by Miles Marker. To learn more about the real historical events depicted in this episode, go to adventuretheater.net, where you can discover all the history you weren't taught in school. This recording and the story, characters, and situations depicted within are the property of their author and creator and protected by copyright.